Hey y'all, what's up? Here's another story about nothing. This is the third installment of my deconstruction series. And as I mentioned before, these stories are not in chronological order. The following is one that I've told many times, but it was always in a Father's Day post and part of a much longer tale. Anyway, my father and I had a strained relationship, and I tried my best to repair it before things got out of hand. He was terribly impressionable and changed faith like socks. At the end of his life, he was into this Moorish Seventh Crescent thing, and he thought that because he was my father, I was to automatically follow suit. He was a boomer, and of course, that mindset was ingrained into men from that era. My son will follow my footsteps. I've seen this man go from Christian to Muslim, except during the holidays when my grandmother cooked chitlins. For some strange reason, he wasn't Muslim during Christmas time. He went to extreme all-day church evangelical and finally settling on a religion he didn't quite understand and couldn't explain. How the fuck was he gonna convert me? So it was 1988 and I was home on Christmas break from college. And of course, he was one of my stops before leaving to go back to school. The conversation started out good, but then there was this deep dive into which direction my religious beliefs were going. He insisted that I be part of this Moorish American faith and even tried to force me to use the suffix L at the end of my name. That was their thing. You know, it was either L or Bay, but that's a different story. If you understand, you know what I'm talking about. Obviously, that didn't go well because I was still what I would consider a Christian, and the journey to faith was still confusing to me. And since I was descended from a long line of deacons and preachers, my great-great-grandfather was the co-founder of our home church, which still stands today actually, but that's a different story. There was no way I was going to follow a religion that he was confused about himself. So we had a heated argument, of course, and I walked away from him in disgust. When I returned for the spring break, he wasn't on my list of people to visit. I went back to school and he didn't even know I was in town. He died in a house fire 2 weeks after his 39th birthday in April 1989. And because things were so fucked up between us, I don't even remember if I called him to wish him happy birthday. That block of time, of course, is very blurry for me. I was shattered. I never got to resolve the issue with him because I was hot-headed and stubborn. In my defense, so was he. I lost my father, and the last interaction I had with him, excuse me, the last interaction I had with him was an argument over fucking religion, man. I've been carrying this guilt for 37 years now, and no one has been able to talk me off this ledge. I hadn't yet left Christianity, but the doubts had definitely crept in and weakened the foundation to the point to where I would have been ready to leave at any moment. My father's death the question I had was my father's death an unfinished business God's way of punishing me? I had questions that no one could answer except people telling me to fucking pray on it. So I was to sit in a room and talk to a magical being and get answers that never came to me. Needless to say, I was a lot closer to that exit. And there you have it, my friends. Just another story about nothing. Y'all have a good one. Deuces.